There. Okay, welcome everybody to the monthly fellowship assembly of the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. And I am Peter Denoy, most of the time in the Dominican Republic. My lens on my camera has been somewhat fixed, but it's still hazy here and there. But this is more foggy in Edmonton, where I am at the moment. Tammy, where are you?
I'm right here.
Okay, thanks. Jim, where are you?
I'm in Red Deer.
Calling to you from Skeleton Lake, Alberta, where it's probably around -10 thereabouts and snowing.
Okay.
I just got back from helping my brother-in-law a little bit on his cabin, his 6-bedroom cabin. Quote unquote cabin.
Yeah, there's a few cabins in the Rotary world and
Yeah.
other people too that they call cabins, but
Yeah,
you know,
not quite.
far away from the hunting kind of cabin that we talk about.
That's
Okay, great to see you, Jim. David.
David Wyatt in Cochrane, and it's -2 and been snowing lightly all day.
Okay, Sharon.
Well, I hate to tell you guys this, but we had a 14 to 15 degree day with blue skies and sun today. I was out in shorts, and I'm from Chilliwack.
All right, great to see you. And then we go to Ellie, Judy, Doug.
Oh, it's we are at our home, on my home in Ajijic, Mexico, and it's 21 degrees right now. And it was a lovely day, like it always is here.
And I'm so lucky I get to spend the day with these beautiful friends of mine, and I'm really thrilled to be here.
You know, this is an amazing opportunity for us to get together, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Fantastic. So as we are there, Ellie, I would like you to start to tell a little bit where we are in regards to the membership.
Oh.
As the chair of membership.
Okay, well, as the chair of membership, you know, I am going through a little bit of a mourning because we lost a lot of members. But I think with the members that we have, we will all be able to work together and increase our membership. I received a message from Jean-Michel today that one member that he's proposing really would like to join, but he had some eye surgery, and as soon as he's recovered and back home, he is going to pursue. So that is one prospective member.
Also, he is going to Guatemala with the Calgary group, right?
Oh, Juan?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Juan and his wife are traveling. Jean and Michelle as well, too.
Okay, then so once we're in Guatemala, then we really connect, and then we'll induct him from Guatemala.
Well, I don't know. We'll see, because you guys have to overlap. There's two groups from Alberta that are going to be there at the same time. So that leaves that up to Vicky and how the coordination.
Yeah, Zoom. We can Zoom from different areas. So other than that, you know, Sharon and Tammy and David and Peter are now all on the membership committee, and we'll be meeting soon to discuss our next step. And Sharon has done a wonderful job helping us out with ideas of what we can do to get our members involved. So, you know, unfortunately, I am very busy with 2 major things. And one of them you probably hear from later from Judy. Maybe you want to talk about that today. But yeah, we need to really take some steps to increase our membership so that we can, divide the roles.
I saw the list the other day of the memberships in the district, and we are by not by a long shot the smallest club, if that's what you're worried about. You know, there's many clubs that are much smaller than we are too. So
But considering we started with 34 members, you know, we need to bring it up. We need to.
Yeah, but Rotary Club of Edmonton has less than 100 members at the moment too. So.
And at one point they had 400 with the waiting list.
Right. So.
There was yeah, there was in
our club.
okay.
Throughout the whole district, it's a problem with many clubs. The Dawson Creek Club is up this year, but overall our district is down.
Grand Prairie and Dawson Creek are you know, St. John, that area is very active. You know, I'm so impressed with Grand Prairie, which is why they had such a good conference too, I think. Right?
And, you know, way up north, there's nothing else to do but Rotary, so you have bigger clubs.
That's true.
But you know, I'd like to kind of wait and see what happens in the next year, because once Jim is our district governor, we will have a lot more exposure, and we're hoping that the message comes through that our e-club is a club like any other club, and it's an option for many people that are contemplating leaving or have left. It's just getting the message through to the clubs in our district that there are alternatives. So we don't give up hope. We just keep on going.
No, we just keep on going. Indeed, that's how it goes. And if we have even having issues trying to get people on the board, okay, we'll have maybe not as many board members and stuff like that too.
No,
so
well,
we will
like
see.
as our president.
And we may, like Keith suggested the other day too, we may want to take another look at that and see do a restructuring of this, like other clubs, you know, as doing as well, type of thing.
Peter,
Yes, Tammy.
there was a really interesting article today. I don't know if anyone's seen it in the Rotarian magazine about an e-club in Italy who went from under 20 members. I think they have 46. They started in 2014, and they got very involved in the business community and with students and providing mentors for business students, a variety of things. But it's really, everybody should take a look at it. I thought it was very clever.
Mm-hmm. But again, that means they have younger individuals.
Well,
as
it looked like they had a good variety of ages,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
No, but also it is the younger generation where you have, if you say, okay,
Yeah.
like we come to the whole social media and Facebook and
Yeah.
everybody participating. There's some other clubs too that are very active where everybody is actually communicating through Facebook and contributing that way, you know, and that's what one of the issues is of increasing the communication within the club. It's an issue that came back, and that's something that I want to discuss in one of the future fellowship assemblies as well. Survey that was done by the district, and where club members you know, answered questions, how they felt about the club, et cetera, et cetera. Some of you may remember doing that. We have the data of that now. It's all put in a PowerPoint presentation. So there's some very interesting stuff that is coming from that we can then approach and discuss that also.
You know, and I have to congratulate our club because I think we were one of the, we had one of the highest percentage participants that were engaged in that survey.
Yes.
12. We had 12 actually participate, so close to 50%.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Good. Okay. I would like to go on and give Sharon a chance to bring and talk about her idea and the new of a project. You want me to share my the document, Sharon?
Sure, that'd be great. While he's doing that, I just want to talk about Facebook for a little bit. I went on the Facebook and our Facebook site, and I'm hoping that you guys can access the same thing that I did. On the side, it gives you the opportunity to invite your Facebook people. I don't know if everybody's on Facebook, but when I'm going through now, I'm putting Facebook postings up every 2 days, every 3 days, and I'm noticing that not too many of our club members are liking any of the posts. The last 3, nobody liked from our club. They were all from other clubs. So we need to engage our Facebook with our friends. So I went through and I invited about almost 200 people from my friends, and they weren't all Rotarians. They were people that I thought might be interested in Rotary, might find some of our posts interesting. Some were Rotarians, and I got a pretty good response from it, maybe 10%, but still that's better than not having anybody, more than 10% actually. So we need to get that Facebook page more active. And we need to maybe even post some of the things on our Facebook page, our club's Facebook page, onto our own personal Facebook pages. What I've done in the past is I've taken some of the stuff from our weekly meeting and I put it on my Facebook page. Like if it's been a joke or some Canadiana or a little video or a song, even a TED Talks that I found really interesting, I posted it and said, this was what was in our weekly meeting this week, Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. So I just like to be able to use our social media in a more effective way. And so that leads me into this idea of mine. Okay, we got it up, Peter?
Yeah, this is the way I see our club's Facebook page. And it may be different from others because I am supposed to be some of the administrators or what. But when I post something directly in here, it ends up somewhere on the side here.
Okay.
You know, and not in the middle.
I don't know why.
But we will see it in the middle.
Pardon?
We will
Okay.
see it in the middle.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway.
We
Will
will
be a post. Will be a post next few days.
be able to share under any of these. You should be able to share onto your own site or to share with friends, and ask them to like it. I just think that more people should try and do that and connect our club page with your own personal Facebook page. And I think that will get us more likes and more people reached. Because I noticed when I did that on mine, and I went into our stats we have a little stats thing that administrators can look at. The participation on our Facebook page just jumped. It was amazing. So I think that I'd like to see people do that more, if possible.
Right. See, this one is interesting. If you look at it here, 183 people reached.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one about our contribution to polio from last year.
Yeah.
Here's 73. Here's 112. And so, you know, these are numbers that don't, you know, not very here, but this one's 490, which was...
If you go back a little ways, they start getting less and less. And that's about the time that I actually asked my friends to like the page. It was right about then when we got when I posted that certificate. So
okay,
getting higher and higher.
But we probably need to get more people to actually find out what they do. How many of our members are doing anything with Facebook too?
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I thought we could do is we could use this, it's called, what do we call it? A little bit of service? Yeah, a little bit of service project. And I thought,
sorry. I got distracted because I was offered a glass and the glass is on the counter and the wine bottle is beside it and I don't get any of it. They haven't brought me any. So that's why I checked.
Okay. Yeah, so I put this forward to the board, and It's just a very simple project that anybody can do. And many of you may already be doing this over the holiday season, doing something special for a family, for an individual, with a group or whatever. But following my presentation at the October Fellowship, the words that I wrote down over and over again are ticked off with the words community and service. And there were a lot of smiles and nods when those words came up. And so I just thought this would be a great way for each of us to connect with each other by doing just some small thing and sharing it. To send a challenge or an invitation out to each of the members, and to encourage a little bit of service project within your own community, and to share it with, if you wanted to register it with me, I'm willing to monitor it, and a photo or two, and then I've got about photos, permission has to be required of any public that these will be shared. And then we can post them on Facebook, and people out there will see what we're doing in our own communities, some little project. And they'll be recognized and valued, and our Facebook is being utilized as well. And then I thought if we got a little bit, if we got enough of participation that myself or Kitty, she's good at this, could put a short video together showing the little bit of service projects that we did do between now and the end of the year. So just find a simple way of giving to your communities. There's a lot of people that are shut-ins, there's loneliness, there's poverty, there's homelessness, people that don't have very much. What can you do in your community to really help with that? What I'm doing, and is we found this Facebook posting, and they're community angels, they're called, and they do lots of things out in the community, but they're giving these blessing bags out. So my husband and I are going to go, and we're going to fill a few of these, and we're going to give them to distribute, because they know who's in need and who's most vulnerable. So we're going to do it. My email is wrong in there. It's Blaker, sorry. So yeah, so if we want to make this a little bit formal, you know, you're doing something in your community, you want to formalize it a little bit, then let's do that. And then we can just help pull the club together during this period of time. And let's see what everybody's doing in their own communities. So that was my thought, and it's very simple. It doesn't cost any money. Well, it might cost you a little bit of money, but it doesn't cost the club any money, and it maybe some time or some commitment on your part, but not a lot. And I think it would be a very simple way to help our club be more cohesive. So what do you think?
It was a great idea, Sharon. Unfortunately, the board was not aware of it because it wasn't on the program. We didn't get it in time to discuss that. So that's why, you know, I think it's Ali and I talked about that, put it out here right now. And it's something that is an individual's initiative, and it's awesome to do that. But we need to report things when we do that. That's the big issue, right?
That's the big thing, is people need to let us know what they're doing. Jim Kenyon sent me something about something he was involved in, but there's no time on it. So I don't know when this happened. So I sent him an email back and said, tell me when this happened, and I'll post it with a few pictures. So if people send me things, then I'm quite willing to post on the Facebook page and do that. And I think it's important that people who view our page know that we're not just this email club, this internet club or whatever, and we're out in the ether world somewhere, but we're actually doing things in our own communities as well. I think that's really important from my perspective, that people know that. Yeah.
Any other comments, please?
I think it's a great idea, Sharon.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Idea, and as we're doing different things in our communities in Mexico, I will.
We can't hear you, Ellie. There.
You will get some stuff from me, but also about our meeting today in Ajijic. I will send you a picture and write a little bit, and about tonight, we can post that.
I've got something for you too.
Yeah, Great. Even your travels, Doug, if you've connected with Rotarians or Rotary clubs in your travels around the world, I think it's important that people know that we are staying connected to the real world, you know. So I think that's important, especially for prospective members too.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
So should I send out a general email to the membership then and invite them to participate in this?
I think so. I mean, everybody has received it because it was attached to the invitation to today's meeting. However, sending out a separate email and posting that on there and on Facebook as well or whatever definitely would be an awesome thing to do. Yes.
Okay. I think I'll call it an invitation rather than a challenge.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Helping with an idea. Excellent. Fantastic.
Thanks,
Good.
everybody.
Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that very much. Good. Next, Judy, are you going to be able to talk about something? Because I know you've been dying to say something.
Well,
Just a quiet type.
Yeah.
Project Amigo. That's what I'm in charge of for the club. And as you know, we do sponsor our a girl there, Laura. She is in, I think, grade 12 now. And so she's trying to, get good enough marks in high school. Her goal, she says, is to go into engineering. So we're hoping that she'll be able to do that, and we'll be, sponsoring her, through that, hopefully, once that happens. Speaking of Project Amigo, there's lots of great, exciting things happening right now. With Lely and a lot of members of the Canadian board for Project Amigo doing presentations and really talking it up, there are several clubs that are interested in getting involved. And they have lots of needs right now there. They need books for the libraries. The books that they have are all tattered and torn. They need new shelving for the libraries to put the books in. The students really need some updated computers. They need school supplies, numerous things. So what we're trying to do is put together a global grant for Project Amigo. And we've had pledges from several Rotary clubs in Canada, as well as in Alaska. The Rotary Club, what is that one called? That's going to be the host club.
Whitecoat.
No, the one in
Cocomitlan.
Cocomitlan will be the on-the-ground club that would be, be the one that we're participating with to make an international program. So we have now pledges for, let's see, how much money do we have pledged?
19,700 Canadian.
Yeah, 19,700 Canadian. And we are hoping that maybe our e-club would like to also participate in this global grant. With the matching grants that we'll get, we're hoping to end up with $100,000 with all of the matching grants. And this will make a good dent in all of the needs that they have there. So we haven't put this forward yet. Ellie and I are just working on the proposal to the club about seeing if we could earmark some of our international service funds for Project Amigo. And if so, it'll just bring us up that much more to towards the goal.
Can I add?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been working really hard on this. And I've never done a grant, but as we're going and asking questions, we're learning so much. I just realized that our $19,000 that we are already having pledged by various clubs in our district as well as outside our district, with the matching grant, the Canadian government is also offering a grant, and we can get district designated funds. And the Canadian government offers a 1-to-1 of the funds that the district puts in, and 50 cents to the dollar that clubs put in. And with our $19,700 Canadian that we have received in pledges so far, we're already at about $45,000 Canadian. So it's easy to do. So, you know, $1,000, it's amazing how it can grow. So we're really excited to make this happen because we do have a lot of needs. Yeah, it'll be great.
I just wanted to mention too, Ellie and Judy, that Jocelyn and I are doing a presentation to the Rotary Club of Athabasca about Project Amigo.
Oh, wonderful.
And you could tell them about the grant. That would be
So
great.
we'll be in contact a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Very good. Awesome.
I have just a question for Judy, or a comment. Judy, you said Laura was thinking of going into engineering. I have a past Rotary student who's from Mexico, and she is now an engineer and employed in Mexico. So if there's any opportunity for her to connect with your student when it gets to that stage, let me know. Been back with us twice, and she's actually all her dad and uncles are all engineers, and her brother was also a Rotary Exchange student, and he's now an engineer as well. So that might be a great resource for Laura.
Where are they? Where is she?
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up on my Facebook page. But
You mean?
she's in the coast somewhere. She's working, I believe, along one of, I think the Pacific coast, actually. The other thing that you mentioned was books for the library. The Chilliwack Rotary Club has a massive book sale every year, and they have for over 40 years. And they were sending container loads to the Philippines, and their recipients there got cut off. So they do have books that they could put together and maybe perhaps work with you guys to send books down for your library.
They have to be Spanish books.
Yeah.
They have to be Spanish books.
They have to be
No English.
No English. No, they don't want.
We do have other language books, but I don't know how many of them are Spanish. Okay.
It has to be Spanish. That's what they.
Okay. All right. Well, but if you're interested, I could hook you up with Helly.
That would be great. I would very much so.
Okay.
Super. Great.
Good. Awesome. This is how it works. Talk about it and, you know, get ideas and get people together and that kind of stuff. Good. Let's move on. And Ellie, would you like to show the video and talk a little bit about the foundation, please?
Okay, I need to first exit my full screen. Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Of course, November being Foundation Month, we would be amiss not to have a little bit of discussion about our foundation. So I'm going to show you a little video, and then we do a little bit of a presentation.
Did you check those two boxes? Ellie, start over. When you first click on share, in the bottom are two little boxes that you need to check off. Remember?
Share.
In the bottom.
And share. Now you can see it now.
Did you check off those two boxes?
Yeah. You should be able to see my screen now.
Started, it says.
Yeah, but you can see the screen now, right?
No.
Well, it says started screen sharing.
I did.
Yeah. But
It's
no,
not showing.
just your names and.
No, we don't see anything.
No, I did. Did you see me check off the
He's not
box?
talking about there.
No.
Where are the little squares he's talking about?
I did. I checked off both boxes.
Mm. Oh,
Do it again.
Share. This one here is the video, and here's the share.
video.
And the
image.
little one at the bottom. There's two little ones, right? Yeah. Now we see the your screen.
See it now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I know.
They're great.
It's horrible.
That's good.
Well, when you play back the recording, you will see how difficulty we had watching it. I don't know how well it plays on your own computer by itself, and it.
That is strange
Funny.
because we clicked the button.
Yeah.
You saw me.
No,
I have a
no.
witness.
First of all, the one you have, the copy you have, does it play flawless on your computer?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the download, it causes an issue, and then they're missing frames and parts and stuff like that too. But
We're
Anyway.
getting the idea. We're getting the idea of how important the foundation is.
yes, absolutely.
Well, I was, considering that Doug here is traveling with a duffel bag and a backpack around the world. And when he showed up at the Rotary meeting today, I see him wearing his foundation pin,
How
And
did
I
Paul
thought-
Harris pin?
his Paul Harris pin. And I thought, for somebody who's minimizing on shoes and everything else, that wow, this means to me that this must mean a lot to him, right? Well, I remember, I think it was about 2 years ago or so, that somebody said, I'm going to send you a Paul Harris pin because the person that gets that pin or has earned that pin is not being around, and it's more likely that you will see that person than any of us will. So last week, I had forgotten all about it, that this pin was sent to me. And last week in Manzanillo, I'm going to my closet looking for stuff. I found Rotary banners. And amongst the Rotary banners is a little box. And what's in that little box? A pin.
Yep.
And it's Doug's Paul Harris plus. So here I have the pleasure, take that pin off.
Amazing.
I have the pleasure of presenting Doug with this Paul Harris 3. I didn't know about it, you didn't know about it, but I thought, wow, what a beautiful opportunity
Wow.
this is. So
Ah,
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your support
Oh,
to the Rotary Foundation.
isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Doug.
Yeah, could you repeat Paul Harris plus what?
Three.
+3.
Awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Doug.
Congratulations, Doug. That's awesome.
Yes. But
Congratulations.
you know why he really wears that pin. It occasionally helps to get a free meal when you're traveling with a duffel bag.
Yeah, not very often.
Aw.
But that weighs my pack down more than the other one.
No.
That's beautiful.
One
One more-
point
one more
one
sophomore.
gram more. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's very moving. Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Thank
Very
you very,
nice.
very much.
Good. All right. Thanks very much, Ali. That is awesome. Very good gesture, and fits right in with today's meeting. But Doug, we haven't seen you all that much, etc. Can you tell a little bit where you are, what the plans are, how if we're going to see you on a more regular basis, etc., etc.
Oh, well, the nomadic life continues. And this year, we spent 5 months in New Zealand, and we were 3 or 4 months in Southeast Asia. And we're rounding out the year. We're so happy to be back in Mexico because it's so welcoming to us. We start next year, we will be in the Pyrenees in France, a small village in Switzerland, and we're going to Scotland, and then we're going to Inverness, way up at the top end, and then we're back to the Caribbean and St. Vincent around about November. So
Wow.
Wow.
so it continues. We just actually plunked down here in Guadalajara 3 days ago, and it occurred to me that it was an around the world trip because we left here a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
and did 16 countries or something like that.
Wow.
So,
I call Doug my homeless friend.
we're homeless, completely homeless, and pretty happy about it.
So is it the
Yeah,
French or Spanish Pyrenees you're going to be in there? The
No,
north of us,
no, on the French side.
French side, okay.
Yeah. I think we're there a month.
Have you been there before?
I haven't.
Oh, it should be.
And then we've
great.
got some gaps to fill yet, but we want to spend more time in the UK. I'd like to get over to Ireland.
But as a homeless person, I must commend you that you're spending in some very nice cardboard boxes that whatever we see from it. As well.
In Scotland, David, it's going to be an estate home, 6 bedrooms, 5 with gardens. And,
Wow. Okay, when is that? We'll all be there.
yeah. And we're just going to keep going. We're having too much fun to stop.
So,
Fantastic.
Doug, how long are you in Scotland for?
I think, well, so far 6 weeks.
And that's coming up in the next couple of months?
No, that's
No,
all.
no.
August.
You'll be
August.
busy then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, August. We don't do cold. We really we know that for a fact. And we
that's
do go to the beach, but
Near Inverness?
Inverness, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be so nice.
Yeah.
But being in Scotland, you never know. You may be doing cold. Anyway,
We bulk up when we have to. We'll go and buy some fleece and a hat and heavy socks,
Of
and
course.
then leave
Sure.
it at the
Leave it behind.
leave it at donation bin when we leave.
Mm.
Where's Joanne?
Awesome.
Well,
She's with the boys,
visiting with the boys.
with
She's
Ron
with
and
the boys.
She's
Tamara.
here.
Yeah.
They're partying
They're
upstairs.
upstairs on the patio.
They're on
having-
the
Oh,
rooftop.
yeah.
And we don't want to be at that Rotary meeting. So those three are upstairs.
Already done one today.
Yeah, we already did one today. So.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Well, it's really, really nice seeing you again, Doug.
Thank you. And I always promote the E-Club, and I always tell people what it's about and how they can get connected with it, and try to do terror clubs when I can.
And same here. And I'm sure everybody in the club does that. There's a real lack of knowledge about our club
Yeah.
in the district. So the more we promote it, the more people will understand what it's all about.
That's your job, Jim.
That's hopefully we get a much more of an awareness of the E-Club after my year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Good for
During
you.
your year.
We should be so proud of you for what you're doing, it's amazing to think that we've got that representation.
Oh, thanks a lot.
On yeah.
It's actually we're a small club, but I think we're pretty cohesive.
We're tomorrow we have a North American Leaders of E-Clubs meeting, and started that together with Brian Carmichael and Michael Henstra from California and Martin Brocklebank from England. We've been doing those for every couple of months for the last while, and at the last meeting we talked about the need for training for president-elects of E-Clubs around, North America. And so that's actually what the topic is going to be. In where was it, Montreal? At the Zone Institute anyway, Brian connected with Jim, but he also connected with Jeffrey and Valerie, and they talked about it, who took it to their colleagues of the other directors, and so there's being talked about, because there's certain things when we do training for the leaders of a club that are unique for a district, but a lot of things are the same throughout. But for E-Clubs, things are a little bit more different as well. So actually tomorrow's discussion will be about what would be important to do in a training session, online, of course, for incoming presidents for E-Clubs. So, and eventually could do that, promoting it for, around the world or whatever. I have those email addresses for all the clubs, so that's a possibility as well.
We're actually, right now, our district is doing the PETS training. We started in November, and we're doing it every month online, except for February. We're going to have a broadcast from Edmonton, and then the secretary training, foundation training, it's all going to be online. So the idea is to have the one session when I get back from San Diego for informing the presidents of the theme for the year. And then we'll have the spring assembly, and we'll have the district conference in the fall. So we have moved towards more online training in our district.
Very good. Of course, I took last year, it was the second time actually, PETS training online, because there were districts in Ontario that are doing that. But there are other districts, and I already heard that from an E-Club leader, that they don't want to accept it. You still have to pay whether you do go or not, or they are not even interested in doing anything, online. So that's a struggle, an uphill battle that we are encountering on a regular basis, and that will continue to be so for some time, I'm afraid. But there are certain things that are unique for, I think, E-Club leaderships that we can address with that. And we have several interesting and people that have done trainings before already that are willing to step up and do that and put something together for a training, which doesn't have to take all that long. It used to be you have a whole weekend, but then it was with spouses and partying and the whole thing, and the actual learning aspect of Rotary learning was very, very relatively small. And so now being able to do that from your house and attend and learn about those things, that makes such a difference. And I think it's the way of the future, what we have to do. And I commend you, Jim, on that's happening, because I was there at the first at your first online meeting and stuff, and so I was impressed. I was impressed with the number of clubs that were there. It was very good.
Peter, as well, that was the very first annual general meeting that you were part of. So for the folks here, I was the host, controlling the Zoom, and Peter was the co-host. So we had the two, Peter and myself, doing the very first annual general meeting and president-elect training session on Zoom in November. So it was quite a historic moment. And thankfully, Peter was there, because I
That's why you need a co-host. That's why you need somebody else.
I lost some of my controls, and so I chatted with Peter, and I said, "Hey, can you pull up these polls that I had created?" And he was able to do that, so everything went flawlessly. So
Oh, nice.
Little-
So did some voting. Sorry?
Yeah.
No, we did some voting, and so yes or no, or what you like to do, and that kind of thing and that's what Zoom can do. But you need to plan that in advance. That's the thing. If we would have a meeting, you can't just put one together right now. You do that in advance, like for voting. So for actually voting for a slate of officers is okay. But if there's somebody nominated from the floor, you can't put that in a poll, I think. Or maybe somebody else in the background, they have to show up. But you need more people to work with that. But
yeah, you can actually add it to the poll, but thankfully I had done everything up before the actual meeting. And of course, I lost my controls. So I private chatted Peter and said, can you take over? And he was able to access them.
And he didn't lose control. Okay, he lost his controls on the computer. Jim stayed very calm and collected throughout the ordeal. Although I know his heart was beating in his throat, no doubt, for that matter. But it went very well. No, it went very well. The same as the AGM, and there were some things that I had thought of because they asked me just to do it in the background, and they should have had the agenda up there and a few more things that you can show on a continuous basis. So those are minor details. The AGM went fine, and it makes it so much easier, and you don't have to do it during other interesting events. You know, because that always at the district conference was
absolutely.
It's an afterthought.
It really worked out well, and I'm sure we're going to be using that same procedure, the way of doing the AGM from now on.
And we had over 50 people online, so that was quite impressive too, I think, right?
Yeah, 53.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Very good. Anybody else? Anything else to add before I close or shut off the recording? Let's put it that way. And then we can continue. Oh, yeah. Listen, are we done?
Is that an hour
That's a toast. Can we have a toast?
Yeah.
Let's have a toast on Doug. Doug's pin. Okay. This is good. You got any wine left, Ellie, or what?
No, I added sparkling water.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Good.
Well,
Okay.
the only thing I have here, I don't have wine, but I have this for men's.
Andy, flu? You got the flu?
So I'm not sure if I should pop one of these or not, but it did work well in Manzanino. So.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you need some sun. You need some sun.
Haven't you had the shot, Jim?
Actually, when I was in Manzanillo, in Colima, or Cofradia, I got sick and I just couldn't seem to get better. And once we went to Manzanillo to Ellie's place, we went to the Walmart and saw a physician there, and that's what he prescribed. Within about 3 doses, I felt 100% better. Just like that, bang.
The drugs in Mexico do wonders.
Well, I can see Doug is there. Doug Dyer is there, so that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you get your flu shot this fall, Jim?
I did.
Good.
I did.
Okay, everybody, thanks very much. I'm going to stop the recording. It's been a pleasure as always, and we'll get the recording up and a lot of people will be watching it. I know they've told me that. So again, thanks for coming and thanks for being here and thanks for your contributions.
Fine. See you.
We're going up to the rooftop.
Hasta luego.
Okay, you guys have fun. Don't overdo it in Mexico, eh?
Bye.
Thanks, Peter, Tammy, and David.
Hi.
Bye-bye, everybody.